Hello guys, good morning. I welcome you all in the classes which are going on for medieval Indian history. So today we are going to explore a very important chapter of medieval Indian history. This chapter shows the cultural growth happened in that era. The cultural homogenization happened in that era of different religions or the persons who are of different faith. So that that movement is the Bhakti movement. The Bhakti movement. It is a spiritual and social renaissance because in the ancient history, you have learned about the Vedic era, that is from around 1000 BCE to 500 BCE or 1500 BCE to 500 BCE. So in that Vedic era, you have learned about the different texts, the four Vedas, different Upanishads, and different types of Quran or epics were written at that time. So in that era, if you have learned carefully, we find that there is a propagation or promotion of Brahman tradition. What we found there is the promotion of Brahman tradition. Brahman tradition means that there are some way through which we can do prayers, through which we can find the moksha. There are some rituals which you have to do to get moksha, and that is also allowed for some type of people, that is called Dvij, that only these people or these caste can do that. Even if the person from the untouchable community or Shudra community want to read Vedas, want to do want to write some text or religious, want to attend a religious ceremony, is not allowed to do that because there is a Varna system. So obviously this will somehow will lead to the a reformation. People will try to make a reformation in that changes because the conditions at that time are increasingly moving towards the other religion. People are now started to follow the other religions because the Hinduism religion is getting more strict and more exclusive and propagated the social discrimination. So the obvious questions which come to us, that whether the devotion can be done without rituals, whether the religion can be followed without priest, or whether the spiritual equality which was brought by the Bhakti movement can challenge the social inequality in that era. So these questions are answered by our Bhakti saints so many centuries ago. So this is what we are going to learn. So in this lecture, we are going to learn what is the background of the Bhakti movement, what are the core principles or philosophies which are followed by the Bhakti movement, which made it as a mass movement, how people are attracted towards it. The third, we will see the different main important Bhakti saint who propagated the different philosophical ideology, which was uh, which was morely accepted and then becomes a different types of movement like Hare Rama, Hare Krishna movement. Then we will learn about the regional distributions of Bhakti saints in different regions. There are different Bhakti movements are going on, and who are the propagators of it. And at the last, we will see the previous year questions asked on this topic in UPSC prelims, so that we can get whether we are reading the correct thing or not, or important thing or not. So this topic is very important from both perspective, from your examination perspective and for your knowledge of our culture, for knowledge of our history. So this is the important topic. So let's move towards the our topic, that is the Bhakti movement. So there is a very important quote which anyhow defines the Bhakti movement, which anyhow shows the crux of the Bhakti movement, that is Bhakti tradition transformed religion into from rituals to relationship, from rituals to relationship. Now they have replaced the rituals with the term relationship, and it actually happened in practical life. We will see this through uh, the core principle or the core philosophies of the bhakti movement. So so now we will look at the core principle of bhakti movement. So, as the quote says, that bhakti movement has replaced rituals from by relationship. Now, in the earlier time, the relationship between the god and the devotee is like that. The god and devotee, if you want to pray the god, there is an intermediary between the god, which is called priest. ओके, ब्राह्मण लोगों का एक समूह था कि उनके ही रिचुअल्स के थ्रू आप भगवान को प्रे कर सकते हैं, जो वो बताएंगे, बिकॉज ऑल रिचुअल्स आर इन संस्कृत लैंग्वेज, और ऑल रिचुअल्स आर complex in nature. So those people who are educated, though they can only understand those complex things, and they can teach the devotee that how to worship the god. They will tell about the different sacrifices और यज्ञ, कि अश्वमेघ यज्ञ करिए, पुत्र के लिए ये वाला यज्ञ करिए, राजा बनने के लिए ये वाला यज्ञ करिए, और फिर ये बताएंगे कि कौन सा पुराण किस समय पढ़ना चाहिए, और उसको प्रोपोगेट करेंगे. So that is what we have, a intermediary it will in between the god and devotee in the earlier Vedic era. But now in Bhakti era, what we find is the direct connection. Okay? What we find is the direct connection between what we find is the direct connection between sorry what we find is the direct connection between the god and devotee, and this connection is through bhakti, is through devotion. Devotion here means you just give yourself, surrender to the God. You just do bhakti as your wish, whatever way. If you want to do music, through music or kirtan or bhajan, do that. If you want to serve people, and by through also you are by through this also you are doing the bhakti. If you are loving or caring the animals, that is also a type of bhakti. If you are caring for the nature, okay, or worshipping the nature by your own way, that is also a bhakti. You are just singing and dancing, doing meditation, that is also a bhakti. And in this there is a direct relationship. No need, मैं घर पे बैठ के भी आंख बंद करके भी ओम का उच्चारण कर रहा हूँ, तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, भक्ति कर रहा हूँ. मैं अगर दो चार श्लोक खुद से बोल रहा हूँ, तो मैं भक्ति कर रहा हूँ. मुझे हर चीज के लिए प्रीस्ट के पास जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. एंड दिस डिवोशन शुड बी लाइक अ लव अफेयर बिटवीन गॉड एंड द डिवोटी. मतलब आप एकदम आशिक बन के, मतलब कि मैं तो तेरा दीवाना ना, बोला मैं तेरा दीवाना, तो दैट इज टाइप ऑफ कि आपको दीवाना बन के करते हो, तो आप और अच्छे से मोक्ष पा सकते हो एज पर दी भक्ति मूवमेंट. सेकेंड, दिस इज द सेम कि ये लविंग डिवोशन है. तो जैसे द पेरेंट्स लव देयर चाइल्ड, सिमिलरली थिंक अबाउट द गॉड एज योर पेरेंट, एंड दे आर लविंग you as a child. They are caring for you, they are giving blessing for you, and you are remembering their name. You are again and again बोलते हैं, नाम जप रहे हैं, स्मरण कर रहे हैं उनका. So that is the main core philosophy. That is the relation between the God and the devotee is now changed as a loving relation, a loving devotion, and this relation is direct. There is no person. This is inner relation. ठीक है? So similarly, that means there is no need of rituals for doing prayers. You don't need the rituals. That is the rejection of rituals happen, which was earlier going on through the Vedic era. Then fourth says no rituals are required. That means no need of exclusive classification of people into different classes. That this person is which community, this person can do prayer, this person cannot. So it is somehow leading to the social equality. जाहिर सी बात है ना कि अब ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, मुझे अपने हिसाब से मन को भगवान को स्मरण करना है, तो मुझे किसी की ज़रूरत नहीं, और कौन कितनी भक्ति कर रहा है वो तो पता ही नहीं चल रहा। एंड फोर्थ इज द मॉरल वैल्यूज। Directly or indirectly, every philosopher will propagate the moral values, the ethical life. नैतिक जीवन की ही बातें करेंगे, समाज को एक समान की बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे, अच्छे कर्म की बात करेंगे, जो कि हमारे भगवत गीता में भी लिखा है, निष्काम कर्म। Okay, so all these values are get propagated, and these people uses the local language। ठीक है, ये मास मूवमेंट क्यों बनता है? क्योंकि इसका एक और प्रिंसिपल है, यूज ऑफ लोकल लैंग्वेज। आम आदमी को तो समझ में आना चाहिए ना कि भक्ति क्या है, कैसे मोक्ष प्राप्त करा जाएगा। द पुरुषार्थ इज फॉर ऑल पीपल। इफ इट इज फॉर ऑल पीपल, देन यू हैव टू थिंक अबाउट कि हाउ इट इज टू बी अचीव्ड, and it needs to be propagated in their local languages. And most of the bhakti saints, this is the very important and exclusive paradox of this bhakti movement, that all famous bhakti saints are really uneducated people. Someone is weaver, someone is just a household person, someone is a cobbler, and they have propagated a very good way to see the religion, a different perspective to see the religion. Now we will look into the why this movement happens. As through the core principle also we get an idea, but since we have to should know what are the reasons around it. So सी द मेन रीजन यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड कि कोई भी मूवमेंट आएगा, कोई भी चेंजेस और रिफॉर्म आएगा, तो उस समय की कंडीशंस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है। व्हाट आर द कंडीशन एट दैट टाइम? if the conditions are good for the rise of any revolution or transformation, then revolution will definitely happen. So we have to see what are the conditions at that time. So as per the condition, one is the religious causes. I am saying similarly that the Vedic era is so complex in nature that the main public, the general public, is not able to understand anything, and they are just facing the social discrimination or discrimination which they don't deserve. So one is the religious causes. People are not able to pray their God. People are not able to pray their God, and even they have accepted they don't deserve a devotional life. So that is the one cause which leads to the caste discrimination. Second is the same social causes. Now with the classification through the Varna system, not only the discrimination happens in the spiritual or religious ways, it happens now in the everyday life. This leads to the oppression of the common people, which are in very large numbers. So this leads to the social causes. The condition of women after the later Vedic era is also get down or deteriorated. We can see the sati pratha and all evil practices which are going at that time. Okay, then there are some political causes also. We can see that this Bhakti era movement started around 8th century AD to, and it peaked around 17th to 18th century. Peaked around 17th to 18th century, and this era you will see that different people are rulers at that time. Peoples from different faith or religion, particularly Islamic invasion happened, and the new traditions, Buddhism also started. So new tradition and new culture and new religions are coming. Conversion rate is going on. So people, there are political causes. दिल्ली सल्तनत का एस्टेब्लिशमेंट हो गया था। ठीक है, देन वी हैव कल्चरल कॉजेज आल्सो सेम ऑज द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ बुद्धिज्म। देखिए बुद्धिज्म और जैनिज्म का मेन प्रोपोगंडा, मेन जो फिलॉसफी आइडियोलॉजी था, दैट इज श्रमण ट्रेडिशन। Shraman tradition. They say that instead of doing rituals, any person by his hard work, by his honest work, by his कर्म के थ्रू वो he can get the मोक्ष। श्रम करिए, श्रमण के थ्रू you can get the मोक्ष। So there are new ideas through which people get moksha and people are following them. So these are some other causes. Now we will look at the different types of bhakti happened at that time. So we can find that during that era there are two types of bhakti movement started. Okay, one is shagun bhakti, one is sagun bhakti, and the other is nirgun bhakti. If you go by the literal meaning of the term, nirguna means Gun means attributes, and nir means no. So, by literal meaning, it try to shows that the God has no attributes, but it is not correct. Actually, it talks that God is beyond attributes. God is beyond attributes. You cannot put or measure any type of attribute of the God. He is so infinite, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. Every quality is from Him. He is Sat Chit Anand, Satchidanand. Okay, so all the four principles or four happiness is present in the God, and He is फाउंड एवरीवेयर, बोलते हैं ना कण कण में भगवान है। आप बोले उसको उनको समझ ही नहीं सकते, ये भी भगवान हो सकते हैं। बगल में बच्चा खड़ा बोलते हैं ना वो है क्या, क्या पता नारायण किस रूप में मिल जाएगा, आपको पता ही नहीं है कि नारायण भगवान किस रूप में आपको मिल सकते हैं। ठीक है, सो दिस इज द वे द निर्गुण भक्ति साइंस हैज कंसिडर्ड गॉड, डिवोशन टू अ फॉर्मलेस, कोई शेप नहीं है उनका, फॉर्म नहीं है, आप किसी रूप में उनको समझ नहीं सकते, तो फॉर्मलेस गॉड है। एट्रीब्यूटलेस मीन्स ही इज बियॉन्ड एट्रीब्यूट। आप ये नहीं बोल सकते कि इतना मनमोहक है मेरे कृष्ण, कृष्ण जी को बोल सकते हो इतने मनमोहक है, लेकिन ब्रह्म को नहीं बोल सकते कि ब्रह्म इतने मनमोहक हैं, सावले हैं, ये है, नहीं बोल सकते, बिकॉज दे वर्शिप गॉड एज formless. Okay, but in Sagun Bhakti, which we found in our daily life, that is Savle, Krishna ji, or Savariya Seth ji, so Ram ji, Murti. So there are different incarnations because people in the Shagun Bhakti worshipping God in some form, some of the form, which automatically leads to the concept of incarnation. अवतार लिया है भगवान ने, राम जी ने अयोध्या में अवतार लिया, कृष्ण जी ने मथुरा में अवतार लिया, वृंदावन में रहे, तो इन्होंने अवतार लिया। वो इसलिए कर पा रहे हो जब आप भगवान को when you are worshipping God in some form and with some attributes, बोलते हैं ना कि कुछ attributes थे कि भगवान अपनी गति से तेज चल सकते थे, मन की गति से चल सकते थे, सुदर्शन चक्र थे, मतलब बहुत सारे attributes we add to them, and we have different bhakti sense for it. But the core philosophy, whether in Nirgun Bhakti or in Sagun Bhakti, will remain same, and that is the most important factor for their propagation. We have in Nirgun Bhakti we have Sant Kabir, Guru Nanak, Sant Ravidas. Then for in our Sagun Bhakti we can see the Mirabai, Tulsidas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These are some of the famous Bhakti saints. Now we will move towards and we will see some important Bhakti saints and their work, because these questions are these are directly asked in the question papers. So we have to read them. So the Bhakti religion or Bhakti movement particularly started in South India. Okay, so South India में start हुआ था around 8th century, even 7 to 8th century के around 8th century AD, and it is there are two group of peoples who are the worshippers of different god. One is for Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, known as the Alvar, and this is the 12 saints, group of 12 saint or poets. See, in Bhakti movement, poetic poems and philosophical foundations are used. Philosophy used, poetic expressions are used to do bhakti. So we can also call them saint or we can also call them poet. The famous one in this is Shri Andal because she is the only female saint in Alvar group. Okay, and the other one is the Nam Alvar. In his name, Alvar automatically came, so you can remember them. Okay, they have written a text. Okay, these 12 group people written a text which is called Divya Prabandhan. In this, their ideology is given called Divya Prabandhan. Nayanas are the group of 63 saints who worship Lord Shiva. Okay, who worship Lord Shiva, and their most important text is the Tirumurai. Their important text is Tirumurai. Since there are so many 63 saints, a student cannot remember. So most important one is Sundarar तिरु नीलकंठ। नीलकंठ शिव जी को नीलकंठ बोलते हैं, तो नीलकंठ उनका नाम है। सो नयनार एक्चुअली में अगर आपको याद करना हो तो नारायण से नयनार बना सकते हैं, बट याद रखना कि नयनार नारायण के अपोजिट है। दैट इज नारायण को कौन पूजेंगे? अलवर्स, एंड नयनार्स विल वर्शिप शिवा। So they gave the foundation. This is the starting of the bhakti movement, which started from the 8th century in South India, and from them only their disciples will propagate this bhakti movement to the North India later on. Okay, so we will see about it. The first we have to understand about the Vedanta darshan. Though it is from the Vedic era, but this Vedanta darshan has propagated a basic, has created a foundation for the Bhakti movement in the North and South India. That's why we need to understand about the Vedic era. For that, first to understand, see, if you see the different schools, you always remember, try to remember ये founder थे, इन्होंने ये बोला, then always you will forget. So आपको समझना पड़ेगा कि ये schools बने क्यों, why these schools are formed, why there is a difference between different schools. All are talking about Brahm, all are talking about world, but what is the difference, why it is created? So I will show the foundation of these things. The main thing is this shloka, which is called Brahma Sutra. This shloka is called Brahma Sutra. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jiva Brahmev Na Parha. That is, Brahm is the reality, Jagat Mithya. Jagat or world is the delusion, and Jeev or Brahm में कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है. देर इज नो डिफरेंस. जीवो ब्रह्मेव ना परा. सो अब ये क्वेश्चन आ गया कि व्हाट इज एक्चुअली अ रियलिटी. इज ब्रह्म अ रियलिटी और वर्ल्ड इज रियलिटी, एंड व्हाट इज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन them? कैसी रिलेशनशिप है? तो बाय इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ दिस ब्रह्म सूत्र there are different schools are developed, which we will see now कि which school has propagated which ideology. So in Advaitvad, the Shankaracharya, this is the very famous and mostly accepted theory regarding the Brahma Sutra. So Shankaracharya said that only Brahm is the reality, world is Maya, world is delusion. ये जो वर्ल्ड एग्जिस्ट करता है ये सब पार्ट है, सब ब्रह्मी है. तो बोल रहे हैं कि एक यू विल रीच अ टाइम, a stage in your life that is called पारमार्थिक लेवल, when you realize अहम ब्रह्मास्मि, मैं ही ब्रह्म हूँ भाई. और तो ये कंसेप्ट इसमें बताता है कि दिट इज अगेन द निर्गुण भक्ति के टाइप रहता है कि फॉर्मलेस गॉड है. गॉड इज फॉर्मलेस, कण कण में ब्रह्म बसे हुए हैं. एंड दिस इज मोस्टली एक्सेप्टेड. द ब्रह्म अलोन इज रियल. दैट इज कॉल्ड अद्वैतवाद. दैट इज प्योर मोनिज्म. प्योर मोनिज्म. जीव भी ब्रह्म है, सब कुछ ब्रह्म है, बाकी इल्यूजन में अपन जी रहे हैं. लेकिन क्या होता है फिर विथ टाइम वी विल फाइंड दैट डिफरेंट रिलीजन, डिफरेंट फेथ कम्स. तो इन्वायरमेंट वैसा हो जाता है कि अगर इसका मतलब यह है कि एंड ही सेड इफ यू गेट द नॉलेज ऑफ वेदा यू विल गेट मोक्ष. तो फिर भक्ति का तो कोई रोल ही नहीं. और अहम ब्रह्मास्मि, मैं ही ब्रह्म हूँ, तो फिर मैं किसकी भक्ति करूँ? सो फिर चेंजेस आते हैं. तो विशिष्ट अद्वैतवाद आता है बाय रामानुजाचार्य इन 11th century. He says that Brahm, Jeev and world are all together. There is a homogeneous unity between them, and the uh, the liberation or moksha can be achieved through bhakti. But later on in the 13th century, Dvaitvad Mahatmacharya, very famous person, comes and say, God, world and the people are different. The person has to do bhakti, and it is the God grace through which he get the liberation. तो समझ में आ गया कि भाई आदमी अलग है और भगवान अलग है, आदमी को भक्ति करनी पड़ेगी. तो बोलते उन लोगों ने स्टार्ट करी. इनके ही बाद में डिसाइपल चैतन्य महाप्रभु होते हैं और आगे इन्हीं के थ्रू बहुत सारे मूवमेंट्स जाते हैं. Vallabhacharya from Gujarat has propagated the Shuddha Advait, that is Brahm is pure. ठीक है. And world is the cause of Brahm. ठीक है. वर्ल्ड कॉजेस इज द ब्रह्म ओनली. ब्रह्म से ही दुनिया आई है और ब्रह्म बिल्कुल प्योर है, कोई माया नहीं है, डिल्यूजन नहीं है. ब्रह्म को डिल्यूजन नहीं हो सकती. एंड ही गेव द पुष्टि मार्ग फॉर गेटिंग मोक्ष, फॉर गेटिंग लिबरेशन. देन निम्बरकाचार्य हैज propounded the Bhed Abhed. That is, there is at one stage you will find the difference between Brahma and people. At one stage you will not find any differences. So there are different situations. And from this, the Radha Krishna worship is propagated. You can see the Radha movement right now everywhere. So the Nimbarkacharya ji is the responsible person who gave the foundation for this. So these are the main philosophies which later on converted into the different bhakti schools. Okay. Now we will see the important bhakti saint. Okay. The important bhakti saint. Number one and the most famous is the Kabir. Kabir was a weaver, ठीक है, और ही इज अगेंस्ट द कास्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन. वो सोशल इश्यू से बहुत परेशान थे. उनको समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा था कि धर्म में व्यक्ति कर क्या रहा है. एंड ही इज अगेन अ निर्गुण भक्ति सेंट. ही सेड, आई एम नॉट एबल टू करेक्टली से, कि अगर पत्थर को पूजने से भगवान मिलता है तो मैं तो पूजूं पहाड़. ठीक है, मतलब फॉर्मलेस है ना. अगर पत्थर पूजने से, मतलब मूर्ति को उन्होंने पत्थर से कहा, तो अगर मूर्ति पूजने से मिलता तो मैं तो पहाड़ पूजूं. वाई शुड आई ओनली वर्शिप a stone idol? Okay, he rejected caste system. These are the same thing, that core philosophy. The one of the more important core philosophy of bhakti movement is inner purity. You have to be a good person. You have to be an ethical person. You should earn livelihood through honest ways. You should do your work in honest thing and share it. Okay, and he has written some dohas which was compiled into the Bijak by his disciples. ठीक है, तो बीजक ऑफ sorry, Kabir is very famous. He is a disciple of Ramanand. Ramanand is the disciple of Ramanuj. ठीक है, रामानुज के डिसाइपल थे रामानंद. रामानंद इज द पर्सन हु ब्रॉट भक्ति मूवमेंट टू द नॉर्थ इंडिया, and he has so many disciples. One is Kabir, one is Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Raidas or Ravidas. So some famous disciple of Ramanand Ji. Okay, so through this way the bhakti is propagated in the north area. Next is the Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Everyone knows that he is the founder of Sikhism. The most important thing he is, the three teachings he has given is Kirat Karan, Naam Japna or Vand Chakna. नाम जपना, यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट, रिमेंबर द नेम, चैंट द नेम. हम ओम चैंटिंग करते हैं, वो भी एक ओमकार बोलते हैं. ठीक है, उसी तरीके से देन नेक्स्ट इज वी हैव टू फाइंड अबाउट द सेकंड इज कीरत करना, मीन्स डू और अर्न योर लाइवलीहुड थ्रू ऑनेस्टी. ऑनेस्टी के थ्रू काम करिए. एंड थर्ड यू हैव टू डू इज दैट दी बंद चकना, वट एवर यू अर्न प्लीज शेयर इट, प्लीज share it. And from this concept only, the concept of langar, that is sit together and eat, share with people who are hungry. If you have enough to eat, then share with people who are hungry. तो ये आपका तीन इन्होंने अपनी टीचिंग दी थी, और इसके थ्रू इक्वालिटी एंड ह्यूमन डिग्निटी तो प्रमोट होती है और ह्यूमनिटी यूनिटी प्रमोट हुई थी. Then we have Tulsidas. So Tulsidas is the Bhakti saint of Shagun Bhakti. He is a worshipper of Lord Ram. He has written a very important work which we all know is the Ramcharitmanas. His Doha and Chaupai are well known and well in all over India. Okay? He has this Ramcharitmanas is the translation of Sanskrit Ramayana by Sant Maharshi Valmiki into Avdi language, and it emphasized the character of श्री राम जी. मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम राम बनने की बात करते हैं इसमें, और राम राज्य की बात करते हैं. राम राज्य which has all the evils away of the society. Society is facing equality. Society has no caste or social discrimination, and all are same. And he popularized bhakti for the masses. इनके दोहों के थ्रू पूरे भारतवर्ष में क्या हुआ, भक्ति फैली. देन चैतन्य महाप्रभु, he is the person who brought the bhakti movement in Bengal region. ठीक है, Bengal region, and through Sankirtan. You can see the photo that do the Sankirtan. नाचो गाओ म्यूजिक करो, अपने आप को पूरा डिवोट करो. आपको पता ही नहीं, आप स्मरण कर रहे हो और आप भक्ति फॉलो कर रहे हैं, और सब चीज भूल के आप संकीर्तन करो. एंड दैट इज डिवोशन टू कृष्णा, दे वर्शिप दी कृष्णा, वैष्णव ग्रुप है। ठीक है, इन्हीं के थ्रू क्या हुआ है, बाद में हरे रामा हरे कृष्णा मूवमेंट आया है। ठीक है, हरे रामा हरे कृष्णा मूवमेंट इन्हीं के थ्रू आया है। और उसमें जो आज आप देखते हो इस्कॉन ग्रुप, वो इन्हीं की टीचिंग्स को फॉलो करता है, दे वर्शिप चैतन्य महाप्रभु। चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने इसी चीज के लिए जो डांस का टाइप, जैसे इसकी जिस चीज की फोटो आप देख रहे हैं, दैट डांस इज कॉल्ड गौड़िया डांस। इट इज नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ क्लासिकल डांस, but it is a very famous dance and it is trying to be in the classical dances, Gaudiya dance, which was followed by the Hare Rama Hare Krishna movement. संकीर्तन पे भी क्वेश्चन आ रखा है, गौड़िया डांस पे अभी तक क्वेश्चन नहीं आया है, दैट कैन ऑल्सो कम। ठीक है, then we will see the other saint, the famous saint through the map। ठीक है, कि रीजनल, क्योंकि अब रीजनल एरिया में कहाँ कहाँ कैसे कैसे फैला है भक्ति मूवमेंट, देन वी दैट वी कैन सी, वी शुड नो द इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट, उतना ही काफ़ी होता है एग्जाम के लिए। तो वी विल सी, सी भक्ति मूवमेंट spread into the Maharashtra region through different bhakti saints, and they all have propagated or worshipped the idea of विट्ठल भगवान और विठोबा भगवान। ठीक है, विट्ठल भगवान का प्रोपोगेट किया था, जिसमें पंढरपुर यात्रा बहुत फेमस है। Pandharpur Yatra, in which the Varakari sect, the people who do the Pandharpur Yatra towards Pandharpur, there is a temple of Vitthal, Lord Vitthal, and people go there and worship on some special day. I am not able to remember. So that Vitthal Bhagwan, that those people who do that travel, they are called of Varakari sect. So Pandharpur Yatra, so all those Tukaram, Eknath, Gyaneshwar, and Namdev, all these Bhakti saints has propagated the idea of worship of Vitthal Bhagwan, and they had written so many poems and bhajans in Marathi language, local language, and some very famous compilation of this is called Abhang। अभंग कहलाता है। ठीक है, we have learned about the Ramanujacharya, Adi Shankaracharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu। Now there is a movement in Karnataka also, in which the Basavan, who has started the Lingayat tradition, क्या स्टार्ट किया था, लिंगायत ट्रेडिशन, इन विच दे वर्शिप अ फॉर्म शिवजी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ लिंग। दे आर फेमस बिकॉज और अगेन the all other teachings are same, that they are against caste discrimination, they talk about the good image of women, they talk about the worshipping in the form of ling only, no rituals and all. So all those philosophy are seen. They become in current affair also they are famous because they are in news, because they ask for the different religion from Hindu. They are right now a sect, but they want to be a religion. But people are saying that you are a पंथ, मतलब आप पूछ तो शिव जी को ही रहे हो ना, तो इसलिए इनका अपोज हो रहा है उस चीज में। तो इनके फाउंडर थे बसावना, इनके फाउंडर थे बसावना। There is one more person called Tyagraj who started the Bhakti tradition or Bhakti movement in Kannada language or Carnatic languages. So Tyagraj is also very famous Bhakti saint. Then we will look at the other Bhakti saints, Bhakti sons of different areas. So we have Dadu Dayal in We have Dadu Dayal in Rajasthan, who propagated the Bhakti traditions of Bhakti Bhajan in the Rajasthan language or in their folklore. ठीक है, Surdas is very famous for worshipping Lord Krishna in the childhood image। बाल कृष्ण गोपाल को उन्होंने भक्ति करी थी सूरदास की, उसके लिए वो बहुत फेमस, उन्होंने बहुत सारी कहानियाँ लिखी हैं उसमें। Raidas is a cobbler, ठीक है, he is from the lower caste and faced so much social discrimination. So he want to change the perspective of people towards the society। बोलते थे कि मन चंगा तो कठौती में गंगा। अगर आपका मन साफ है, if you are inner from inside, then आपके जो कलश है आपके हाथ में, उसमें जो पानी है वो भी गंगा जल है। So that means that if you are pure, then it is automatically a type of bhakti। Then we have seen all other Shankaradev. Shankaradev has propagated Bhakti movement in Assam or northeast region. and he is the main proponent of the मणिपुरी डांस. ठीक है, मणिपुरी डांस शंकरा भक्ति मूवमेंट, शंकरा देव की भक्ति मूवमेंट से ही आया है, और ये क्या है, क्लासिकल डांस है, वन ऑफ द क्लासिकल डांस ऑफ इंडिया. सो मणिपुरी डांस किसके उससे आया है, शंकरा देव के उससे आया है. Rest we have already read. Narsi Mehta. Narsi Mehta is the person who has propagated the Vaishnav religion or Vaishnav Bhakti movement in the Gujarat area. He has written that bhajan called Vaishnav Jan Hai To, that is linked with the Gandhiji. So that famous bhajan is written by Narsi Mehta. Mirabai all over knows she is the she loved Krishna as she loved Krishna in devotional form, and even she sacrificed all of his life for Lord Krishna. Okay? She is very famous female saint. One more female saint, one more female saint from Kashmir region called Lal Bed. She uh, she made a homogenization of Sufism with the Bhakti tradition in the Jammu and Kashmir region, and her work is compiled into the वाक्स बोलते थे इनको. तो ये चीज आपको याद रखना है. Similarly, this bhakti movement has similarity with the Sufism. Sufi saint also follows the same core principles of philosophy of doing direct relationship between the devotee and the God. So through this we have understood first what are the changes come from the Vedic era to the medieval India Bhakti movement. When then we see the core principles like the direct relationship, the love, devotion. Then we have found the Sagun Bhakti and Nirgun Bhakti. Nirgun Bhakti is of formless God, and Sagun Bhakti is of the worshipping God in the form. Then we have seen the Vedanta Darshan, the five types of school through the Brahma Sutra, understanding of the Brahma Sutra. Then we have found about the Alvars and Nayanas. Later on, we have seen the different Bhakti saints and the work they have done. So from this, the lecture on the Bhakti movement is completed. Now we will see the some previous year questions of UPSC asked. So the question is, see, UPSC always asks conceptual question. So one question, first question is, pairs matching is there and the term is given. What is Sadgun Bhakti? We know that attributes के साथ भगवान को pray करना. Nirgun means without attributes. Alvar, we all know the Alvar is or for Vishnu or Krishna, and Nayanar for the Shiva. So option C is wrong here. Okay. Option C is wrong here. Now we have the next question again on Sagun Bhakti traditions. The Sagun Bhakti tradition focus on the worship of specific deities such as विष्णु और his अवतार. जाहिर सी बात है, जब आप फॉर्म में करोगे तो इंकारनेशन की अवतार की बात आएगी, मूर्ति पूजा की बात आएगी. शगुन भक्ति ट्रेडिशन, द गॉड एंड गॉडेस आर कंसेप्चुअलाइज्ड एंथ्रोमॉर्फिक होम. कृष्ण जी, ठीक है, कृष्ण जी, गोपाल जी, राम जी, सबसे जो है अपन आज की डेट में कैसे पूछते हैं, ह्यूमन फॉर्म में ही पूछते हैं. उनको एक व्यक्ति के रूप में मानते हैं. ठीक है, मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री राम. सो बोथ 1 and 2 आर करेक्ट. हु अमंग द फॉलोइंग आर द भक्ति सेंट्स of Nirgun school of Bhakti? So we know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ने क्या किया था? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has started the Vaishnav tradition in the Bengal region or Hare Krishna Hare Rama movement, which is a Shagun Bhakti movement. Then we will see some more questions on it. Some direct questions on Bhakti saints can be asked about their life. Who is the Guru of Mirabai? So Raidas or Ravidas is the Guru of Mirabai. And who is the Guru of Raidas? The Ramanand. Ramanand Guru is Ramanujacharya. So Raidas is the Guru of Mirabai. So by doing previous year question, you can understand the scope in which the questions are asked. Verses ascribed on Sant Kabir has been compiled in following traditions. that is Bijak, Kabir Granthawali, Adi Granth Sahib. See, the Dohe of Kabir, the Dohe of Kabir are also written in different books. One is Adi Granth Sahib, written by Arjun Dev. Okay, the fifth Guru of Sikh, Sikhism, fifth Guru of Sikhism. Then Bijak, the verses given by Bijak and Kabir Granthawali are written by the disciples of the Kabir or Kabir Panthi people. Then again question asked on Bijak is the composition of the teachings of Sant Dadu Dayal. We know that this is wrong. And the philosophy of Pusti Marg was propounded by Vallabhachar, not by Madhvachar. Madhvachar ने कौन सी philosophy दी थी? The concept of Vedvad, that is God and all other are different. The devotee has to do the bhakti. So by this we are ending this lecture. Thank you so much for participating in it. Thank you.